extensive experience on how the FBI conducts these investigations, and we see they are ongoing. He is also a former Navy SEAL and has written a fantastic book called Sheep No More. Also alongside Jonathan, please have former Secret Service agent and DHS advisor, author of the book Terrorists on the Border and in Our Country, Newsmax contributor Charles Marino. Gentlemen, welcome in. All right, so when we hear Dearborn, you know, everyone knows that it is a huge Muslim diaspora here in Michigan. There's other town called Inkster. I'm going to let you start, Jonathan. They're still on the scene. There's these two homes, as Sarah just mentioned, one's near a high school. We know the group that has been arrested, according to some reports, has a nexus to some foreign extremism. Did not say if it was ISIS or Al-Qaeda, but the gravity of this is not lost on many of us who have been watching these open borders for years under Joe Biden.
Sure. Well, first of all, let's look at it from the grand scale, which is the international connection that it may have to other groups outside the United States. We have to realize that although these groups may define themselves by one particular name, overall, the fundamental Islamic belief that they have is pretty much shared. So inside the United States, people that may subscribe to that ideology can pick or choose who they want to send their loyalty to. But oftentimes it comes down to who's in contact with who and how they're able to plan these types of attacks. So it's good to see, however, that the FBI is moving towards going after these types of groups and catching them in ways such as they did here, where they heard something mentioned in a chat that potentially the FBI was moving away from back during the Biden administration. So it's good to see that they're on top of the things that they should be when it comes to these types of threats.
Yeah, and when it comes to these types of threats, obviously a weekend like Halloween, Charles, would be a terror-filled event because there's children on the streets. You think of the sense of fear it would strike in every American. There is a report that shows last year the Biden-Harris administration released at least 99 potential terrorists to the United States since January 2021. In addition to look at these chat rooms, I mean, looking at what ICE immigration officials are doing, and they're being fought against, but they are looking for terrorists that, as you wrote about in your book, are already in our country.
Yeah, and it's no shock, Bianca, that we're seeing these instances with attachments to foreign extremism rise within the country. Radicalization has changed. We used to talk about radicalization being conducted via the internet or looking for high-risk, suspicious travel. But now it's actually taking place within our own borders based on the unchecked, unvetted immigration crisis that was allowed under the Biden administration. So we're going to continue to see this threat grow and grow. We don't have a lot of specific details regarding the target here. Was it a target of just one location or multiple locations? And we also don't know how long the planning was going on and being monitored by the FBI. But look, great work to the agency. As Jonathan pointed out, it's good to see them focusing and remaining focused on these type of incidents, because the threat in the country's never been higher.
I think it also focuses Americans, too, to realize it doesn't take a lot of people to pull off something that is incredibly deadly and dangerous. I mean, we look at this. In May, FBI arrested a man, spent months planning an attack against a U.S. Army site in suburban Detroit on behalf of ISIS. That suspect, gentleman, Ahmad Saad, charged with attempting to provide support to a terrorist organization. The FBI stopping this one as well. But, you know, the sad part is, as hard as they're working to stop these, we know with so many people, again, that were let in under the last administration, this is an immense task. I'm looking at those live pictures, Jonathan. I mean, at this point, once you have suspects and you start pulling apart, if you will, sort of the thread of the sweater here, how much bigger do you think this investigation could go in the next coming hours and days as we await a statement from the director, Kash Patel?
Well, like any investigation, this could grow exponentially because once you have some of the individuals that were actually planning to carry out the attack, now you start looking at who was involved with planning the attack, where did the intelligence come from, and the education to, if it was a bomb or if they're going to use a truck, where did the coordination come from? So I think this thing will start to expand. Because it's most likely it didn't just go and start with this small group of people. One thing I will say that most people overlook when we talk about the immigration issue, where people were flooding in this country, it's not just people that would carry out attacks. It's people who would come in here for the sheer purpose of radicalizing other people. And 1 or 5 of those people could influence thousands of people. And so it's no real surprise that up around Michigan is where this is happening.
And the other thing too, listen, this is a huge Muslim community. We know that there are people who will look and say, well, you're looking at that. There can be people, as you just said, who come in and sort of assimilate in these cultures, and there's a few bad apples here. And, you know, we look at Mamdani, this race here, Charles, in New York. I mean, he was seen with the imam, smiling and posing. That imam from Brooklyn was a co-conspirator, unindicted in the 1993 terrorist World Trade Center bombing, where 6 people died. I mean, so I think some of the legacy media also have shifted to you're being Islamophobic if you're talking about these things, but these are real issues, and it has nothing to do with Muslims. It has to do with radicals who, for some reason, now may be getting a little bit of a, I don't know, I wouldn't think they were energized under this new FBI, but there's just a really disconcerting story here today. It doesn't sit well that it got this close. Charles, final thoughts.
Well, and it has to do with ideology. Does Mamdani's ideologies fit with the goals of the NYPD? Fit knowing that New York City is the #1 terrorist target in the world? And I think when you sit back and you look at it objectively, you say absolutely not. His ideologies contradict and undercut everything that needs to be done when it comes to homeland security and protecting a large city like New York City.
And you wonder,
so look, they put him in office. I hope they're ready for what's coming.
Well, we got a few days before that election. You wonder if this story could be also have some political ramifications for that election as well. Charles Marino, Jonathan Gilliam, 2 of the best here. We will continue to watch this.